Hi, I'm Selena for Who is Jesus Today. How are you doing out there, everyone? I'm going to jump right into it because I want to talk briefly about a very powerful substance in our bodies. And that's our heart, an organ. That's our heart. But I also am going to relate to the heart in the spiritual context of who we are as people. This Bible verse stands out to me. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Above all else, guard your heart. I mean, the most important thing about you is your heart. It really is. Not what we do, because what we do, sometimes what we do is not what's really in our heart. That's the issue of also integrity, right? Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Proverbs 4:23. It doesn't matter what we are doing in our lives, even when we're doing things that appear to be great in the eyes of man. At the same time, there is a God that looks at the heart. Jesus dealt with the heart of the matter. As we see Jesus ministering in the Gospels, his mission on earth, he would often refer to the heart. We get so concerned with outside appearances, how we appear to man. But you could appear to be one thing from your outward appearance and actions, but at the same time your heart is saying something else. But here's something about the heart. You cannot cover it up, but for so long. What is in your heart will manifest. It will manifest itself. Or you may try, and we can all try to pretend to be something that we aren't, and feel and pretend that we are doing something for the glory of God or to help others, but it's just really about us. Now we all fall into the trap of not always acting out and saying things that's really in our heart. But the heart, what is in there, it will manifest. I like to say that as believers in Jesus, we are called to, I believe, to constantly examine our heart. Why we are doing and saying certain things. None of us are flawless, but I'm referring to when we get into that place where we are habitual. You know how people say, I made a mistake, because we all make mistakes? How many of you have walked down the block and you just happen to trip? Hopefully we don't fall, but sometimes we have fallen too, right? I have, even at this stage in my life. In fact, I tripped up a few months ago. I had my computer in my hand. I was going out to do a video, and the same place that I'm crossing to walk, I have done, I don't know how many times, but this particular day I tripped and then I fell. Yeah, that happened in 2023. Was it 2023? Actually, I think that may have been in December, so it's not that long ago. Ouch. But that was okay. So sometimes we fall, we trip, and sometimes we fall hard, and that's a mistake. But if that keeps happening, then something might be wrong. Maybe something is wrong with the person, that maybe they need to get their eyes checked. Maybe they're weakening in their body, but there is something that is really off balance. The same way when we make mistakes, we say things we shouldn't say, there's error in our lives. When something is off balance in the heart, it starts to manifest in other things that we are doing. And we can no longer say it's just a mistake. it becomes a condition. And if it becomes a condition, it goes into being oppression. And if it's spiritual oppression, then you can come into that realm of now you have strongholds in your life. I just don't believe that strongholds come in our lives overnight. You see, it starts to build up. A mistake is a mistake. It's human to make mistakes. When we are becoming habitual and there's a consistency in our lives of error, we have to go back to that most precious place, and that's our heart. Above all else, guard. What's another synonym for guard? Protect. Watch. Keep your eye on it, right? Your heart. If that heart goes wrong, you can be doing some great things for a while on the outside, but sooner or later, the heart will reveal itself. Everything you do flows from it. Also, I have known in my own life, I strive for balance, and a spiritual and mental health is all in Jesus. And you'll find even more and more in our society today that people that say they know Jesus, you can be around them for a while and you start to think, are they spiritually and mentally healthy? Because if there's a condition in the heart, things aren't right. It's just a matter of time too before now it begins to manifest in how you handle out situations and respond also mentally. And of course, your spirit will be affected. So, I like to say, who is Jesus today? Jesus, I feel, has constantly made me aware. He has. Watch my heart. Watch your heart, Selena, because that's where the problem is going to really start. You may look very kind and what you're doing is right on the outside, but I do know the heart. And I feel that the Lord gives us time to repent of things in our heart that we know we are holding on and just not willing to let go, and just to flow and to deceive. Because deception begins in the heart before it manifests. And I always like to say, everyone is capable of deceiving, and everyone is capable of being deceived. So, I would like to say, I don't want to be a deceiver, nor do I want to be deceived, but I also know that there is something about my heart. If it's not in the right condition, I'm likely to deceive myself and others. Let's guard our heart. There's many Bible verses that can tell us about our heart. It is very, very special, very delicate. Yet, we want our hearts to be open and pliable. We want the love of Jesus to flow in our hearts. You see, I strive to have a tender heart, a soft heart. It's not a weak heart. A weak heart is a hard heart. Because see, when you're hard in your heart, and when something breaks on you and crack you down, you're like shattered, very hard to come back together. But when you're pliable, right, when you're tender, that means that, yeah, you are hit hard, but you see, you're easily to mend back. Your heart can be mended. You allow it to be mended. So let's keep that in mind today as we go throughout our journey of knowing who is Jesus and walking with Jesus. And any of you who do not know about Jesus, and you come across this message, I hope you will also begin to think about the condition of your heart, but that Jesus wants to come and live in your heart and give you a transformed heart. And you'll become more and more aware, what's happening in my heart is going to eventually affect everything that's around me and others. So let's keep in mind to guard what is a precious treasure for all of us, and that's the heart. You can like and subscribe. Until next time, Shalom.